The Australian property market has crashed. The bubble has burst. It's been all doom and gloom until now. Look, the media headlines will try and grab your attention in any way possible. And right now, you may be a little bit nervous about getting into the Australian property market. The truth is that the current market trends are telling a different story. Yes, the annual change in dwelling prices is still down from 9 to 10% in Melbourne and Sydney respectively. But this is more of a long-awaited market correction than an actual market crash. Recent auction clearance rates, which just means houses that are actually sold on auction day, are up. In mid-July 2019, they're up to 70.6%. Compared to the same time last year, this was only 57%. This means that more houses are selling at auction, and people are more confident in buying in today's market than they were 12 months ago. And so should you. Here's 5 reasons why. 1. Home loan assessment rates have relaxed. Previously, banks were required to assess home loans at 7%. If banks offered you a home loan package at 4%, you would still be assessed at having to service the loan at 7%, which just means you'd have to pay it off at a higher rate. So for example, if you got a $500,000 loan and you were being assessed at 7%, you'd have to fork out $3,500 in interest per year, compared to what you're actually paying at 4%, which is only $20,000. This is no longer the case, and APRA are now proposing to only have a mandatory buffer of 2.5% on your home loan package offer. So say you were offered 3.5%, with a mandatory buffer of 2.5%, you'd only be assessed at 6%, where previously you were getting assessed at 7%. Banks assessing your loan on this lower interest rate means that you may have been provided a loan that you couldn't have got previously. Or they may give you an increased borrowing capacity, which just means that you can borrow more money from them. 2. Investors are now keen to get back into the market. So before the recent election, the Labor government was proposing to cut the capital gains tax by half. The capital gains tax is tax that you have to pay on any profit that you make from selling your property. Now, if you're an investor and you've held the property for longer than 12 months, you're entitled to a 50% discount. So say you recently sold a property and you made a profit of $100,000. Under the current policy, you'd only have to pay tax on $50,000. But what the Labor government was proposing, you'd have to pay tax on $75,000. The Labor government was also proposing to make changes to the negative gearing policy. From the 1st of January 2020, we're only allowed to claim negative gearing on newly constructed properties. Negative gearing is when the interest on the home loan is more than the net rental income, meaning the investor is making a loss. So let's say your monthly interest repayments was $2,000, but your rental income was only bringing in $1,600. You'd be making a loss of $400. This is the backbone for many property investment strategies, as it allows investors to claim those losses as tax deductions on their individual income. Since the Labor government has lost the election, these policies have gone out the window, and investors are no longer scared of the impact they may have caused on their financial situation, and they're keen to get back into the market. 3. The amount of interest you have to pay has decreased. On the 2nd of July, the Reserve Bank of Australia have decreased their cash rate to 1%. This followed a similar reduction in the same meeting in June and has provided us with 2 interest rate cuts in only 2 months. These interest rate cuts then get passed down onto the banks, and then the banks can choose if they want to pass them back onto us, the clients. If they then decide to pass this down, they will apply the decreased rate to all their home loan packages, reducing the amount of interest you and I have to pay on our monthly interest repayments. 4. You should have more money in your back pocket. The Senate has just passed individual income tax decreases, ranging from $255 to $1,080, depending on how much you earn. You should see these tax cuts automatically come into your bank account from your 2019 tax return. This means more money in your back pocket to save for your home loan deposit. 5. The new First Home Owners Scheme. The new Morrison government's First Home Owners Schemes allows individuals earning up to $125,000 or couples earning up to $200,000 to purchase a property with only a deposit of 5%. This helps first home buyers save more than $10,000 on their lender's mortgage insurance. Lender's mortgage insurance, also known as LMI, is just insurance for your home loan, and banks require it because they're putting themselves at risk. If you need to borrow more than 80% of the property's purchase price, the bank requires you to pay lender's mortgage insurance. Let's just say you bought a property for $500,000. If you needed to borrow more than $400,000, which is 80%, the bank would require you to pay lender's mortgage insurance. Now, I'm not saying these factors are going to cause the market to surcharge, and if you don't buy within the next 6 months, you're going to miss out. But hopefully, they will stabilize the current downturn trends. This should give you more confidence and hopefully more opportunities to get into the Australian property market. As always, seek professional financial advice to assess your current situation. If you want more content like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and until next time, happy house hunting. And investors are can you stop bobbing your head?